Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Houston Kiangata. I'm actually one of the organizing team members of the Techstars startup weekend here in Dublin. And I'm here today to present to you as we're conducting this pre-session. So we have our guest, which is the LEO, the local enterprise office here in Dublin, representing by Sandra Reynolds. And thank you very much, Sandra, for being with us and one of our sponsors as well here on the With the Tech startup weekend here in Dublin. And please, Sandra, we want you to tell us, tell us about yourself and also about the local enterprise office here in Dublin. What do you do exactly, please?
Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Sandra Reynolds. I work for the local enterprise office, Dublin City. The local enterprise office supports businesses at the very early stage of their business to start, scale and grow. So for any of you attending this weekend, just a little bit about who the local enterprise office are. We're the first stop shop for anyone starting a business in Dublin City. And we have a dedicated team delivering a range of supports and services. We collaborate with a host of organizations, not all of them are on this page. We would work closely with Dogpatch, the Guinness Enterprise Centre, Enterprise Ireland, many kind of stakeholders within the startup ecosystem. So there's good kind of channels of communication between a lot of the organizations supporting early stage startups. So for anyone, there are 31 local enterprise offices located around the country. So to find your local enterprise office, it's usually, the area of the city that you work in. So that would kind of depend on where your business is registered and you're going to be developing your business and creating employment. So one of the, I suppose, the key role of the local enterprise offices as part of the kind of government policy to support enterprise is really about driving the culture of startups, a can-do business culture. It is around creating jobs based in the local area and really helping businesses, innovative businesses, to start and grow and to become export driven. So the supports are really, I suppose, designed to help at different stages of your journey. So for most of you attending this weekend, it would really, the early stage startup supports are what is going to be relevant and appropriate to your stage of business. So firstly, at these early stages, trying to tease out your business idea, and you'll have a great opportunity to do it as part of participation in the startup weekend, in a kind of fun, dynamic environment. So mentoring. So once you complete the startup weekend, considering some of the supports that you might kind of look at over time. So mentoring is a great way to gain access to a mentor from different disciplines, for instance, business advice or strategy, finance, it could be marketing or sales. So you can, so I've links at the end of the slides to where you can apply for mentoring. The mentoring is subsidized, so for like 3 hours it's 10 euro, for 6 hours it's 20 euro. So it's really giving you the opportunity to avail of supports and I suppose one thing I would suggest is that if you are applying for mentoring, try and have an idea of what you want to achieve out of it. So it might be, you've teased out your idea. I now want to understand more about the marketing piece, the customer segmentation, how I'm going to evolve my customer value proposition. So the supports are really there to help you. And I guess it's figuring out for yourselves is what supports are appropriate to your business and the type of business that you're going to set up. So a lot of the training courses, we offer a range of training courses, which are half-day group workshops, usually delivered online. So for example, you know, we run regular Start Your Own Business courses. They run twice a month. We also run business advice clinics. Business advice clinics are run pretty much weekly. So you can sign up and look at the range of training events that are available on our website. One of the workshops we also run and the grant application workshops. So these workshops really give you some insights and understanding of what I need to, what information I need if I want to apply for a grant. And it also talks about what the evaluation committee are looking for. And I think it's really important to understand this because, you know, the local enterprise offices, it's government money. And because of this, there are particular, you know, we have to do our due diligence and, you know, there is a kind of process. It can be quite bureaucratic, but it's good to understand, well, number one, can I avail of a grant? Or two, what other options there are for me to seek financial support. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But so most of you are tech entrepreneurs, but there are supports available for food entrepreneurs. The food scene in Dublin is quite thriving. So there's online offerings as well as the Food Starter program. The Food Starter program is done in collaboration with SuperValue. So those, you know, it's just for different sectors, there can be different supports that are, you know, appropriate and relevant to that sector. So it's always kind of good to know what's relevant for your sector. So I guess most of you are thinking, yeah, what kind of funding is available to me if I decide to set up a business? How is that going to look for me? So for early stage businesses, really the types of LEO grants you can avail of are feasibility grants. We have a range of supports that help as your business progresses. So priming grant, business expansion is really around employment creation. So if you're at the stage where you've got validation of your business, you're generating revenue, these grants are very much for, you know, kind of hiring people and job creation. Eligibility criteria, it's important to note that your business needs to be either manufacturing or tech-based, be an internationally traded service, or, you know, so I guess businesses like retail, like coffee shops, like consultancy, or trade or professionals are ineligible. So for anyone starting out, it's always just good to know what supports are appropriate to my business and how do I go about getting those. The trading online voucher is a popular support for businesses who are trading and in business for more than 6 months. And there's some other initiatives as well. Innovation vouchers as well are kind of a good way to engage with the university sector. You can apply for an innovation voucher as well to work with some of the universities. Again, with a lot of these funding options, you do, for innovation vouchers, you need to be a limited company because they are subject to VAT. Microfinance provide loans to businesses, and it's across all sectors. So it's always a good option to know and understand. So just a little bit more about the trading online voucher. In order to apply for a trading online voucher, you have to attend an online session. So you attend the information session, and following on from that, an application to apply is usually issued. So the trading online voucher is 50% funded. So it's matched with your own funds, so it's not a fully funded option. The microfinance supports clients through the local enterprise office can provide assistance in the application form. And also you can avail of a reduced rate of interest. So loans can be anything from 5 to 25,000. And I think the biggest challenge for any entrepreneur starting out is that if you're a tech entrepreneur, you understand technology. You may not be a salesperson or a financial person. And this is where some of these supports can really help you begin to build that knowledge. Taking part in the startup weekend, you'll get exposure to a lot of knowledge and learning, and it's this continuous approach to learning and understanding that you as the business owner need to I suppose build upon. So it's almost like you're starting with your startup weekend to build. There's a building block, and you begin to build out and build on your knowledge as you progress with your business, and reach out to the supports that can help you at that appropriate time for your business. Some of the other supports that we provide are more so for established businesses. So I would predominantly work with established businesses in helping them in, kind of in the area of sustainability, in digitalization, and in lean. So these are very much targeted at growing businesses. They're not really for the early stage pre-trading companies. So the green for micro, lean for micro, and digital start are for particularly targeted at businesses in the growth phase. So networking, you'll get a great opportunity to networking at the startup weekend. In some cases, you'll find there's collaborations made. And I think, the networking piece is really important. So we run regular networking events. We've just recently had our local enterprise week. It was run throughout the country, and there were hundreds of events. It was hard actually to keep track of all the events. In October, all the local enterprise offices in the country have National Women's Enterprise Day. And also we would have networking we recently had a networking event, and it was for a lot of the people who attended our business advice clinics and our start your own business workshops, and a range of businesses. So networking is an important part of your journey. I would recommend you network choose your events wisely, because in Dublin there's a lot of events going on, and you want to kind of work on your business and figure out, how you're going to kind of start and validate the business opportunity. So wishing you all the very best of luck with the startup weekend, and have fun, enjoy it, learn it from it. And if you have any questions, Leila or Fiston, I'm happy to answer them.
Yep, thank you very much, Sarah, for this great presentation. Really much appreciated. And we have a couple of questions we wanted to ask you about the Leo, also regarding the startups here based here in Dublin. We want to know, what are the challenges startups actually are facing when it comes to application forms or sign up to Leo programs? Are there challenges that you've encountered when it comes to those startups to sign up to your programs?
I mean, I suppose the main challenges with applications, so with feasibility, you really need to have matched funds to apply for feasibility. So that means, you have, I suppose, skin in the game, that you're willing to take that risk. Startups are high risk. So for any funding applications in anything that you do need to have the financial information and to understand when you're asked questions about it. So the Prepare Your Grant Application workshop is a great workshop to understand, well, what exactly do I need for the different funding applications? So knowing your financials, knowing your figures, having a commercially viable product understanding, so where am I going to sell my product? You know, do I have a background in the sector? Who, you know, the whole sales process is really important. So so traditionally tech entrepreneurs, you know, partnering with somebody commercial is always a good way to, you know, have business success, but it really depends on the business. So I think, you know, the startup weekend gives everyone a great opportunity to figure out, well, is this a journey I want to go on or not? And then if you do, it's really deep diving into, I would suggest doing a start your own business workshop to look at all the different aspects: finance, sales, marketing, company setup, legal. There's so much to consider. So it's understanding that journey and being open to the, I suppose, the learning and the doing and the, you know, that whole process.
Oh, thank you very much for that. And I just want to ask you as well another question here regards to requirements to sign up with, to Leo's. Are they that much a hassle when it comes to sign up to your to Leo, or it's kind of straightforward for startups to actually access to your various programs?
So for our training programs, you
Yes.
can sign up at the website under training, and it lists all the kind of training, upcoming training. So there's literally like 2 training courses a week. So you might have things like tax and VAT, Canva, you know, kind of LinkedIn. Then it might be larger courses like fundamentals of finance. So there's something for everyone. It's actually quite broad. So the half-day courses are kind of handy because there's not a huge time commitment. For mentoring, you go on to, and I can send you the presentation afterwards. You sign up on the website, and you would, the mentoring tab, you can either select 3-hour mentoring or 6-hour mentoring. And you make your payment of €10 for 3 hours, 20 for, oh sorry, €10 for 3 hours, 20 for 6. And yeah, that's, and also I would, and I did say this already, just be clear on what you want to achieve, because then you're going to get more out of it, you know. So take that time to kind of clarify your own thinking and think, oh, okay, these are the things I'd like to work on. And I guess you did ask about what do I suggest for businesses. The market research, I would call it customer research, customer discovery.
Okay.
Get out there, know what's happening in the market, know what's happening with your customers. We also are operating in pretty challenging times, globally, economically. So there's a lot to really kind of think about, but I guess the most important thing is, do I have a viable business idea that can translate into a business that I can generate revenue from? That's what I would kind of look at, you know, and am I that person to make it happen? Sometimes tech entrepreneurs, you know, they may start up a business, but as that business grows and scales, the original founder may not end up being the CEO. So, you know, that's particularly if you're kind of going on to raise VC money and everything. But yeah, so depending on your sector, there'll be kind of different rules of how that operates. And yeah, so that's why I think I'm kind of really about get the right help at the right time that's appropriate for you is more, you know, because everyone's business is going to be different. And kind of one step at a time, because it's huge and it can be overwhelming. So, you know, that might be the way to kind of look at things.
Yeah, thank you again. Thank you again, Sarah. We have 2 more questions left, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And as you know that I'm actually on the Chambers of Commerce of Congress Chambers of Commerce, and also we do have a lot of communities here in Ireland. I mean, I'm talking about Congolese because I have I've been honorary vice president of the community. We are about 6,000 of Congolese here in Ireland here, and less than 2% actually making to the startups or entrepreneurs or SMEs. And with this event coming, we have potential in terms of people sign up to our Techstars weekend, which is going to happen on the 24th to 26th of this March. And my question is, I want to know what advice would you give startups or entrepreneurs when it comes to managing work balance? I guess you faced a lot of startups or entrepreneurs who are actually going through different stage, professionals and also trying to to have their own path. So what advice would you give them in terms of how to balance their work life?
So are you saying, do you mean people who are already working, they have a business idea?
Yes, we have a business idea. We really want to get into these fields of startups because some of them have great ideas and they just want to give it a shot. So what advice would you give them
so
while
if
they're
you're
facing their professional life?
working and have an idea for a startup, I would de-risk it before you would consider leaving full-time employment. Because things take a lot longer than you think they're going to take. So you're passionate about your business, but you often, and really it's learning how to, to promote your business. There's lots of, kind of various supports out there around pitching your business. But at the beginning, it's just you and trying to kind of de-risk it. The best kind of validation is a paying customer. So try and focus on that. I would focus on the commercial aspect, and really understanding and knowing your competitors. And so really, no matter who you are, that would be the suggestion I would make. Focus on the commercial viability of your business, particularly in tech. Understand your competitors. Are there opportunities to collaborate? There's so much going on. So I suppose it's kind of figuring out how best you're, going to enter the market and what you need to do. So through the startup weekend, I presume you kind of work through a lean canvas or some kind of structure that kind of helps people clarify their ideas. So you're continually going to be doing that. You'll be constantly working to get more research and understanding. So I don't know if that answers the question enough.
Of course, yes. So we have they will go through it and hopefully they'll get this advice and run with it. My last question here, if I may say, is that as you know, the tech industry is going through a lot of turbulence nowadays, and I hope you heard about the SVB bank in the US. And we have as well a lot of headcount wind down of employees as well in the tech industries, and the projections for this year, it's kind of shaking due to the inflation as well looming down the line. What are the advice as well that you can give, or let me phrase it this way, is the access to funding via Leo, is it going to take normal time required for the application, or is going to be a little bit modified due to the fact that we have a lot of momentum? This negative impact on the tech industry nowadays. So accessing fundings, is it going to be as usual, or is it going to require a lot of requirements due to this turbulence that we have in the tech industry?
I don't see it changing in the, I mean, there's the eligibility criteria, and that's not going to change. You know, early stage startups are high risk. So, you know, I think sometimes opportunities come out of adversity. There's no question that there are businesses, even post-pandemic in the last year, failing. You know, there's a high percentage of failures in the startup world. So there's so many factors to consider. And that's for, you know, you as the entrepreneur make that decision. Is this for me? Am I ready to go into this high risk world and really put my all 24/7 into making this happen and building a team? And you know, there were challenges in building a team and finding the right talent. I think most industries are experiencing that now. So, you know, it is challenging. So really, you know, I think it's having a good innovative idea. You know, there'll always be opportunities. So, you know, the world of startups is high risk, and not everyone makes it. So, you know, I think that's just not, self-employment is not for everyone. And that's, you know, so if you attend startup weekends or start your own business workshops, as an example, say if 100 people attend a start your own business workshop, 50, maybe less, set up a business. And in my previous role, I would have run a program that was early stage startups. 50 would have taken part a year, and out of 50, 2 would have made it to Enterprise Ireland to raise funding. So, you know, they made it through a journey to get to what would be eligible for high potential startup and raise money through Enterprise Ireland and match funding. So not everyone is going to be going that route. Not everyone is going to be eligible. So Enterprise Ireland work with the high tech companies, and we would have quite a large amount of LEO, what we call local enterprise office portfolio clients, who start with the local enterprise office and graduate to Enterprise Ireland. They transfer to Enterprise Ireland because they've reached a point in their, you know, revenue, in their growth, in their potential to export internationally, to be considered for Enterprise Ireland. So there is that journey, and things do take longer than you think, you know. So it's like, well, how am I going to fund that? You know, some people don't have the money to, you know, so the bootstrapping can be, okay, I'm going to bootstrap this and use your own kind of blood, sweat and tears to start up your business. And at the appropriate time, you may look at raising money. And of course, this programs like New Frontiers is available to support entrepreneurs. You attend phase 1, and phase 2 has the funding, if you will. It's 15K on phase 2. So, you know, there is the competitive element that the startups compete to get onto these programs. And also, I see you've kind of dog patcher included on your on the kind of agenda. The NDRC Launchpad is also a support for startups. So, you know, there is that kind of the journey to get to the funding. You know, you need to do the work to get that kind of early validation, and when it kind of helps, the closer you get to a little bit of commercial validation.
Yes, thank you very much. And then we just have one last question, and then we're gonna hear from you as well for these 2 last minutes as well to close this presentation of Precision. And we really appreciate you again to be with us. And then, as you know, that you know, of course, a lot of startups are kind of afraid nowadays. So we would like you to encourage them and to to give them a hope here as we are closing this session. when it comes to liquidity risk or credit risk, as you know, some of them, they kind of, I don't know, am I going to pass this probably validation process, as you just mentioned, or what advice would you give them? Are they going to need to just sign up to this program and then trying to give their best shot for accessing the funding, or you think they just need to do their all risk analysis, which will take them a lot of time? What is the advice you give to those startups who are actually afraid to come and access to your program? And also, in closing to this presentation, precision session, to advise those startups as well, if they can come to come to these the tech events, and also to try to give the best they can in terms of the unique value proposition they might have in this upcoming events.
So I think you know, taking part in a startup weekend is great. It's good fun. It's an opportunity to collaborate, to learn, and work in teams. So if you have a vision to set up a tech startup, you're going to need to have a team to make that happen. But there are equally as many really successful businesses where it's an individual who has a product or service or a skill to sell. So businesses are going to look a lot different. The tech startup route is very different, and it's quite structured, and there is a framework and a journey to get there. You know, and I do think, you know, for tech startups, the New Frontiers is a great program if you can, you know, avail of that. It's just knowing what's out there, but do the work initially to help you understand, you know, how's this going to work? Be open to get out and talking to potential customers to understand I suppose it's back to the value proposition. What problem are you solving? Be focused on your customer, laser focused, and know the industry and sector that you're, you know, and I think that's really the important piece, is the business opportunity and the wider market opportunity, but start small and try and build from there, really. And just do it, enjoy it. You know, if you fail, learn from, you know, failure isn't a problem as such. Sometimes the biggest learnings that you will, speaking as a kind of older person, if you will, you learn more from your mistakes than you do from your successes. So I think that's the kind of attitude of, you know what, look, that didn't work out. That's fine. Let's try something else. And it's that kind of iterative approach. Give yourself permission to do that, and just, yeah, there'll be lots of opportunities. So, you know, just, yeah, take them and, you know, keep focused and enjoy it and have fun and learn, always be learning. So they would be my words of wisdom.
Thank you again, Sandra. It's been a pleasure to have you in this pre-session time.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it, and we're looking forward as well to visit as well Leo, and we're going to ask anybody from any communities here in Dublin as well, our community, to come and sign up and to see whatever programs that you guys have, which are very, very informative, and then they can take it from there and get this package from your organization. So again, thank you again, Sandra.
You're most welcome, and the best of luck with the weekend. It sounds like fun, and yeah, good luck. So yeah, so you can reach out to the Leo if there's any questions. You know, you can, and I'll email on the slides. I just noticed there I've made a mistake on the slide, so my apologies. But anyway, I'll fix that and send on the slides.
Oh, that's great. No problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, best of luck. Okay, take care.
You.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.